Okay, today we're at the Jaro Cathedral, and we're going to give you guys, they're adding on a new wing of this church for the priest, for his living quarters, and they also have the Catholic massage people, the blind massage people, and their main office is going to be downstairs, and the blind people will go to the malls and massage people during the malls. As you can see, I don't know if you can hear the music in the background, but we're right outside the doors of the main cathedral. And then further around here, there's the top of the steeple up there. And then here's your small chapel. And then in the background here's the older building, and there's a lot of construction going on. A friend of mine's running that job over there, so I thought I would show you guys a little bit about how they do construction here in the Philippines. Okay, they put together their own rebar grids. These grids are going to be for the rebar and the footings. They're going to pour new footings to hold the building. This building is existing, and they're just remodeling it, strengthening it up. It was done with old concrete, and it's soft, and they want to improve it. But they hand make all these grids. One thing you find here is they don't have a lot of power tools. Actually, they have very few power tools. And oh, Junior! Ah, you came in here, caught us at the right time.
Okay.
We're already taking video.
Okay.
How are you?
Oh,
this is Junior. This is my friend, Junior.
Hello.
You haven't met Mitch. Okay, we got a reunion. Meet Mitch. Okay, Junior. Okay. Yeah, I got a little bit of video outside, and I just thought we'd come inside. And this is the only power tool they have,
Okay.
and that's what they use to cut their rebar. Everything else, even the saws, there's no power saws for the wood. They build these, all of these scaffolding out of wood, and is it coconut wood? Is that right? Coconut wood. From coconut trees. That's where they get their framing lumber, and then in the background you'll see some bamboo. This is their creative way of bending rebar to make these wonderful bends. They'll take the rebar and they'll lay it in here. Where is it? They'll lay it across here, and then they will pull it, and they'll make their 90 degrees. And then they've made these big tools here, and they will bend the big bar with this rebar that they've already welded some smaller rebar to. So everything here is real creative. But as you can see, they bend some pretty big rebar. They do a good job at it. Here's one that's just been done, and they've even got an offset in it. If you look, you can see the offset. We've got another offset over there in the middle, so they can get around the column and still have a continuous bar. It's a lot of hard work here. And here we are underneath it. Then they've ripped out the walls out of here, and they're completely redoing. They're going up with 2 brand new floors. They're going to leave the existing roof, and they're going to add on further out. You can see the bamboo down below. They dig out a little ways, drop the bamboo in, and then they use the GI wire to tie the bamboo together, which is basically a galvanized wiring. This lower portion here is going to be for the blind people. It's going to be the office for the blind people, massage people, and then this is going to all be finished. Not sure what all is going to be elsewhere, but this is going to be their office. You see the dark wood up there in contrast to the one that's painted, and what they do is they take engine oil and soak their old wood for a while, and kind of like in America we use creosote or wood treating, but here they dip it in old engine oil so the oil doesn't go to waste, and they're able to penetrate the wood with engine oil to keep the termites out. And the other wood that they use, they don't like to frame with coconut, but they like to frame with mahogany and another wood. About everything here is done by hand, manual labor. You won't see cranes in here very often, or cherry pickers. Now you can see them use the rebar tool here. This is a Filipino conduit bender. Okay, we're going to go upstairs on this project. Let you see what it's like out on a construction project here at the second level. I took an old existing column here and then hand bent all that rebar going across. We're going to pour that into set some concrete form boards and then pour that in. And that'll be their cross beam, and that's going to support the top of the structure. But notice all this bamboo out here. That's what they're using for scaffolding. I'm sure it's not OSHA approved, but it works here in the Philippines. This is your typical Philippine wiring. All these wires coming in and out of the breaker box here. As an electrical contractor, all of my wires had to be done and sealed tight and weatherproof connections, even out here on a construction site like this. Lots of regulations, lots of ground fault receptacles. In America, we've got our skill saws and sawzalls to cut our lumber, and this is the way they cut the lumber in the Philippines. Just about everything's cut with a handsaw. I've seen a lot of work here done where they've cut ceilings and put it in, and they use a handsaw and do a really great job. Makes it pretty straight. All this sheep mahogany over here was done with a handsaw. And here they're making scaffolding boarding. That's probably what they just cut back here. And they'll strap this across. You can see some going across in the background maybe. They put a couple of coconut 2x2s together and cut some thin plywood and put it on the top, and that's their scaffolding. They're going to leave most of this ceiling up here because this was done with the blue wand, which is the good wood, and there's no termite damage in it. Doesn't seem to be bowing or buckling, but so they're going to leave that. They're going to mess with the roof structure, and then they're going to extend the building further out. You can see the beam all the way out, so they're going to go all the way with that beam. Right now there's 28 men hired on this job, and he's hoping to have maybe 50 men on it before it's all done. They're still hiring by the day, so he thinks he's going to have 50. That's what they're shooting for. Everything being done by hand makes a job like this being very, very slow. No nail guns. I actually brought a couple nail guns with me, but they don't have them here. Everything's done by hand. Hello, Juan. How are you today? What you got, lunchtime? Ah, you getting some nails. What happened to that concrete column out there? You done? You got the concrete finished, I see. The column, you broke it out. Yeah, Juan was out here yesterday with a hammer and a sledgehammer. And they come out here and break this concrete out. You can see it in the corner where it's still a little bit left. But they come out here and break the concrete out. They actually broke it off of the columns. Concrete here is not real strong because they do everything by hand. And then they've got, usually they've got hollow block construction, so the hollow blocks break out real easy. This is why there's so much damage from the earthquakes when they happen, because it's soft concrete. The building wraps all the way around the back, and all of this is for the priest quarter. Juan, tell me the size. Tell me the size. This is going to be 4 bedrooms.
This one.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 bedrooms.
5, 6.
6.
Upstairs here.
For the
And
priest.
For the priest. For the ground floor, there's a female bedroom and master bedroom.
Wow.
Yes,
And how many CRs or bathrooms? 4?
Almost here, you have 6 CR.
Wow.
And the ground is 1, 2, 3.
Wow. 7 bathrooms.
7 bathrooms.
My goodness. What a project. They've been on this, I think, since July 1st or June 1st, and probably got at least 6 more months to get it done. But this is how they do things in the Philippines, all by hand. They're going to mix the concrete by hand, and they may get a concrete truck in here, a ready mix truck, to do the slab. But all these beams, they're going to mix with shovels and a small portable mixer. They're going to hand mix their own concrete. Well, Juan, this is quite a project. This is quite a project. Thank you for letting us come out here today.
Thank you, Mr. Mike, my friend. Very thank you.
Next time you bring your tool pouch with you, okay? Alright, we're going to wrap this one up for the day. I just want to show you how it's done here, and this is the addition onto the Jaro Church, or the Jaro Cathedral.